Okay, let's dive into this because today we're exploring something that's honestly, well, it's truly profound. We are going to be breaking down teacher Lin Ming Shang's deeply philosophical lecture notes. And, if you've ever found Buddhist concepts, things like ultimate wisdom or the true nature of the mind, if you've ever found them kind of difficult to wrap your head around, you are absolutely not alone. What teacher Lin does here is he takes these vast, ancient ideas and just meticulously deconstructs them into this highly structured framework so we can actually understand and, more importantly, apply them. So let's just get right into this explainer. Now, Teacher Lin grounds his entire lecture in this one incredible quote from the Shurangama Samadhi Sutra. It says, "Its wisdom is profound and unfathomable." Right out of the gate, he establishes this immediate sense of immense awe and, frankly, mystery. He's describing the Buddha's wisdom as something vast, limitless, and just completely inconceivable to our everyday scattered minds. Which, of course, leads us to a very natural question, right? And it's one that Teacher Lin addresses head on in his notes. How do ordinary people, like you and me, even begin to fathom the unfathomable? I mean, if this wisdom is so deep and so infinite, is it just entirely out of our reach? That is the central tension we're going to unpack today as we really dig into his teachings. To bridge that gap, let's look at his first concept, Section 1, the lamp and light analogy, deconstructing wisdom. First up, he defines wisdom, or ji. Teacher Len explains that wisdom is the true essence of one's own mind. Imagine it situated in the absolute deepest place within you, almost like this boundless, empty space with zero boundaries. In his Buddhist framework, he actually equates this to the land of eternal silent light. It is our core. It's our unmoving, foundational essence. But then he introduces this vital counterpart, which is insight, or hui. Now, unlike the totally still essence of wisdom, insight is the discriminative function of the mind. It's how our mind actively functions out there in the world, beautifully responding to forms and adapting to things without ever being stained by them. It's basically the marvelous application of our mind in everyday life. And this brilliantly illustrates the relationship between those two things. Teacher Lin puts it like this: wisdom is the lamp, insight is the light. Lamp and light are not two and not different. Think about it. When the light shines, the lamp is right there within the light. When the mind functions, the essence is present. They are at their core fundamentally the same exact thing. But how do we actually practice this? Well, that leads us to Section 2, difficult versus easy paths, the practitioner's bottleneck. Now, Teacher Lin's notes vividly contrast two totally distinct paths of practice here. On one side, you've got the Cham and Purity schools. He points out that while their teachings of perfect stillness are ultimately true, they are incredibly difficult to cultivate, enter, realize, and attain. Like, it requires immense, rigorous self-effort. But on the flip side, he presents the Pure Land school, which he explicitly calls the easy path. Here, according to the texts, just one sincere utterance of the Buddha's name can eradicate 80 billion kalpas of sins of birth and death. That is a massive difference. For those of us who constantly struggle with wandering thoughts, this leads right into Section 3, the ultimate lifebuoy, relying on Amitabha. Teacher Lin uses this incredibly powerful, comforting metaphor in his notes. He says Amitabha Buddha is like a lifebuoy for the drowning person and a lighthouse in the darkness. And this is absolutely crucial to understand. The easy path isn't some lesser method for people who just aren't committed enough. No, it is a fail-proof rescue mechanism for flawed, ordinary humans like us. It relies entirely on the immense original vow power of Amitabha Buddha to literally pull us out of the sea of suffering. Let's move to and see how this builds into an actual everyday practice. Teacher Lin describes a very specific method for reciting Namo Amitabha Buddha. He calls the tongue reciting the name the vanguard, and the mind remembering it the rear guard. By coordinating these two forces, you essentially gather your scattered, chaotic mind into just one single phrase. This constant repetition directly penetrates the eighth consciousness field. Over time, it transforms that consciousness into pure wisdom. You're subtly merging with that state of no thought we talked about earlier, but you're doing it through a tool that is just so highly accessible. To prove that this isn't just a bunch of theoretical philosophy, we reach Section 4, De Yong's Standing Rebirth, the easy path in action. Let's walk through this real-life timeline of layperson De Yong's journey. Back in the 1980s, De Yong and his wife started reading Buddhist texts and established their faith. Fast forward a few years, his wife actually had this profound vision of Amitabha asking if she was ready to go to the Pure Land. But She hesitated. She was worried about her unmarried daughter. When Dae-young heard this, it hit him just how deep and incredibly stubborn our earthly attachments really are. So as soon as they retired, the couple completely isolated themselves. They minimized all social contact and just rigorously practiced this easy path of reciting the Buddha's name. And then, on his final day, Dae-young achieved what's known as a miraculous standing rebirth, literally passing away while standing perfectly still facing the west. When his wife found him standing there, totally still, with absolutely no pulse, she was, as you can imagine, terrified. But then she found this note tucked right under his chanting machine. It read, "I saw Amitabha a week ago, and I knew I was going to be reborn. Do not move my body. Let the chanting machine continue." He had prepared the whole shebang in advance, leaving behind this breathtaking final testament to the sheer power of pure, focused faith and the easy path. So the crucial point is captured right here in Teacher Lin Mingxiang's urgent, deeply impassioned plea to his students. He urges us, think about it, contemplate it deeply. If you wish to become a Buddha and forever escape the cycle of rebirth, walk the easy path. He's passionately reminding us that we really don't have to rely solely on our own flawed, wandering minds when this kind of profound, accessible help is just sitting right there. Which brings us to a lingering question for you to take away today. Are you ready to let go of wandering thoughts and trust the easy path? Look, whether you view this as a literal spiritual rescue mechanism or a really profound psychological framework for finding inner peace and stillness in a totally chaotic world, Teacher Lin's notes challenge us. They challenge us to stop overcomplicating our minds, cut off the endless measuring of good and evil, and simply trust the light. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer of Teacher Lin Mingxiang's profound wisdom.